Well, you should be recognising my theme tune for now, and the Lanky Beat live show is underway. We've been doing just over an hour. That was Alan Williams you were listening to before. Is it fascinating stories he's got? I've got two more parts to that particular album, and we're going to play that over the next week or two. So, meanwhile, we've got a meanwhile. We love meanwhiles. Here we go. I'm going to welcome here now Starjump and Mooney. But I'll tell you what, before we even start, I don't know which is Starjump and I don't know which is Mooney.
Do you know what? Everybody asks that same question and we don't know. Or if we do know, we don't tell anyone. We don't know which one it is. Actually, Alan came up with that name once and he said, I've got a great name for us.
Absolutely.
Starjump and Mooney. And I thought, well, what does that mean? I think, did you have a dream about it or something? Or
I think it was a conversation we had one time when I was drunk at university. We were saying things like, let's do a Starjump and a Mooney at the same time.
I know.
And then I said, just jokingly, that's a great name for a band. And
it is.
And do you know what? I think
it's completely unique.
It's off the wall, isn't it?
It is off the wall. Because you two guys can be off the wall.
Yeah.
You can be dead straight, but you can be off the wall.
I think I'm the straight guy. Alan's the funny guy, really.
Yeah. You're Laurel and Hardy, you two.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the bellies are certainly getting there, aren't
they? We've just had some pictures too with the belly sticking out.
The Wigan version, modern day version of Laurel and Hardy.
All right,
in the
thanks.
studio. What about that?
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, we've got you here for several reasons, obviously. The main reason is to find out all about you and where you're coming from and where you're going. Okay. And I know in a previous life, Ian Unsworth, who is one of Starjump or the other one Mooney, whichever you choose, used to run a music shop in Wigan, didn't you? And what was that shop called?
It was called Music 90. I run that for 24 years.
Did you?
24 years of retail therapy.
Yeah. Retail therapy.
But you know what? I'm really glad that it was great while it was there. But I think most people would say retail is really hard work. So I'm glad now I'm not doing that. I met many people. I met yourself. I think you was playing with. What was the band you was playing with?
Something Catchy.
Something Catchy.
Yeah, we just did the social clubs, and somebody said to us one day, we're trying to choose a name. Said, well, pick something. You need something catchy, so we just chose that.
That was it.
I mean,
great name.
So we did the social clubs for 13 years and enjoyed it as well. Yeah,
I've met loads of great friends from there and still keep in touch with many people from the shop. But things tend to move on, and I'm really happy where I'm at. I think I remember Alan saying, do you want to do something? We do quite a lot of things, various things in the daytime as well, in a more sort of therapeutic sense. Yeah, which we can talk about if we have the time.
Yeah, well, I'm particularly interested because we were talking on the phone about just a few days ago, weren't we? And you said something like, we do a lot of work during the day. Yeah. Now, I can't imagine what that might be. Can you explain it to me?
Well, I think Alan started doing some sort of like care home type places and people who were living with dementia, and you was using like drum circles to try and stimulate that. Yeah. And I think that was going okay. Not too bad.
Well, it was difficult because we were using the African djembes, and of course people with issues with arthritis and mobility issues, it was a struggle with the drums. Yeah. So Ian came along and I said, just come and observe and see if you can give any suggestions, any pointers in terms of how we can improve it. And Ian says, you need to get me on board, and we'll bring the guitars and ukulele. So we tend now we don't use the African drums in dementia and Alzheimer's work anymore, but we use smaller percussion.
Is this related to some kind of work that you're doing in the community?
That's exactly it, Bill. It's the community music project, which we do probably quite a few residential homes, specialising in dementia and Alzheimer's. So we're also doing work with adults with learning difficulties. Yeah. So we've changed what we do slightly. We've done one today at Lee, and we've
what was it at Lee? What did you actually do?
It was at Lee Rugby Ground, and there's two groups there, isn't there?
Yeah, the adults with sort of like certain difficulties, we can say. One was called Launchpad, one was called My Life, and they're just a great group of young adults. Yeah. And as you know, Bill, music is this great sort of platform, and it's just a great way of stimulating, connecting, bringing people together, and it really works. And sometimes we did a place, I don't know whether Alan remembers, last week at St Helens, and again it was young adults, and there's one particular adult, William, I like to call him Will I Am. But when we came in on that particular day last week, he was just sat on a chair on his own, sort of in the foyer, and just seemed a little bit isolated. However, when the music session started and we was getting everyone involved, he is actually the star of the sort of session, because he's fully involved.
It animates him.
He's connected with everyone. Absolutely brilliant. But that is very much so as well with people who are living with dementia. We've seen so many great instances where people are almost shut down. They're not in the moment and they're not connected with people around them. But you play music, and especially music and songs that they are familiar with, and they instantly come alive. And there's the guy Song a Minute Man, who's been quite famous on YouTube. I don't know whether you've seen him or not.
I think, yeah.
He's an older gentleman who used to play the clubs many years ago, and his son, trying to sort of like bring him out of his dementia, played his backing tracks in the car. And he instantly came back. His son said he was back in the room, he was back in the moment. He could remember all the words. He was the famous one. He was singing Quando, 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 with all the actions and the words, and it's just a brilliant moment. But that is a great example of what happens when you present music to people who are living with dementia, because they can feel isolated and they can feel detached from things around them. But it means they connect with people around them. They're connecting with their own memories. It's a happy occasion, and people, it's just great to see. It's very, very rewarding, and that's what I've really enjoyed doing. And I've learned a lot from Alan. I would always describe Alan as someone who really connects with people.
Professional connections with this kind of work? Have you been in some kind of nursing capacity or caring capacity?
We don't get involved in the nursing side of it. We always say that obviously there has to be nurses and carers there when we do it. We're focusing entirely on the music and how the music connects with people. I mean, Alan used to work as a teacher, lecturer. I must say, I've got the right thing there, Alan.
He's been saying lecturer for 20 odd years.
I'm
interested.
Well, my background, apart from music, is psychology, and I was very interested in researching the effects of low frequency of music and low frequencies on the nervous system of human beings. So obviously I wanted to put psychology and the music together. My teaching background, my teaching qualification, so you mentioned about a caring profession, that's what I did, not a nurse, but I like to think that we can apply some of the research methods, understanding that I've got to and apply it to what we do in the daytime to these groups. You know,
the thing is, coming back to, because it's a good point. You know, do you need special qualification to be able to use music to help bring someone who's living with dementia out of that sort of state? And you don't. I think there was a great article about Frank Skinner, the MP, who sang, I think, to his mum and to another relative. He sang familiar songs, and again, when he was singing those songs, he almost felt like he was getting the person back, because they was in the moment with him. They were recognising the songs, they were singing songs with him. I think BBC Radio 2 had a small feature on talking about dementia yesterday as well, and they actually had singers, classically trained singers, who were living with dementia and saying what a difference in their lives it makes. So we just tap into that. We're enjoying sort of facilitating it. We just, you know, we're just musicians who love music.
Well, talking about singing and playing, are you interested in kind of giving us a song or two tonight?
We would love it. We don't know what it's going to sound like, because we've just got 3 mics. So
we've got 3 microphones, and we've got your 2 guitars. We've got Joe in the background.
Joe, give us a shout, Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
She's brought a huge camera. Have you ever seen a lens like that?
Yeah, she works for CIA.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
And the DSS. So we're in trouble tonight.
So
that'd
be great if you just hitch up.
We'd love to do a song.
How we go.
I think.
We'll
see if we can get the balance right. Are we doing a cover?
I think
we've got to do a cover, and it's what's it called, this song? Well, I think it's very appropriate at the minute as well.
You realise that we, ladies and gents, if you're listening in the hospital, in your hospital bed, you should be tucked up in bed by now. Get your fluff up your pillow, get comfortable, get them new knees and them new hips, you know, and get them sorted out.
Are the pillows fluff-uppable in Brightington, Bill?
Am I what?
Are the pillows fluff-uppable?
Are they fluff-uppable? Well, I'm not sure even if they put a chocolate on the pillow at night. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, but anyway, there you go. And I think we've got plenty of volume. It's about balancing.
It's about balancing,
isn't it? And well, let's see how we go.
If I can just, in fact, I'll move this mic up. Alan introduced me to this song about only a week ago, so we've only been playing this. We've probably only played it about 5 times, haven't we?
How many excuses
I know.
Sorry,
I only learned this yesterday.
But
you've done really well so far.
Alan's giving me the sort of like...
He's getting a ghetto clause in there.
No, I'm not saying it because of that. I love the song, and I remember it from the 70s, and I don't know how I originally heard it, and I just love the song. And it was in that sense that I was saying we only learned it the other day, and I really love it, and that's why I said let's try and cover it tonight.
Give it a whirl.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
Well, the song is a song that my dad used to sing when I was going back 40 years. And of course, at the time, you don't like the songs that your dad sings, do you? Or sometimes you do. But this one, they sort of come back. The things like "Gypsy Woman," the song that we do as well. It's a great song, great country song with a lovely country feel. But this one has been covered and recorded. If you go on Spotify, there's loads of people recorded different versions of this. Glenn Campbell being probably the most famous one.
Yeah.
But as Ian said, it is a great song, and we're lucky to be able to play it, despite it only being 3 chords.
Give us a clue. What is it called?
It's called "Try a Little Kindness."
Away you go.
Thank you very much. If you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed, and if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say you're going the wrong way. You got to try a little kindness, overlook the blindness, shine a light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people, of the narrow-minded street. Don't walk around the down and out, lend a helping hand instead of doubt. And the kindness that you show every day will help someone along the way. You got to try a little kindness, overlook the blindness, shine a light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people, of the narrow-minded street. You got to try a little kindness, overlook the blindness, shine a light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people, of the narrow-minded street.
Hospital Radio, the best sound around.
Across the wards of Wrightington and Wigan hospitals, playing the best of yesterday, this is Wrightington Hospital Radio.
That's it. I think we deserve a belated clap, don't you, John?
I thought you was going to say we deserve a belated cup of tea.
We got interrupted by the jingle, which of course we have to play every now and again. Right. And then I have to say things like, this is Bill Hart on Hospital Radio Wrightington with the Lanky Beat live show. That's what I've got to say. And the time is coming up to, that's another one we have to say. The time is coming up to 8:30 shortly, and we're having a ball here. We're having, they brought a couple of wine glasses.
We brought 4 actually.
There's half a bottle of wine been drunk already. Yeah.
You can guess so.
And you better not tell them in the wards. Well, down there.
Absolutely
are they alcohol free in the wards? I've never known.
Well, they used to give them Guinness, didn't they?
Did they?
I think pregnant women used to get Guinness in the day.
I remember my mum saying that. I think when she was pregnant with me and she gave birth to me at Billinge Hospital. It's not there anymore, is it?
I was born at Billinge Hospital.
Well, they used to give Guinness to my mum.
Yeah, absolutely.
She was all right with it.
Incredible.
45.
How about you, Joe? I mean, did you have any Guinness helping your mum along?
I must have done. I must have done in the 70s. There must have been.
I love Guinness.
I mean, Alan, let's have a little chat with you now.
Yes.
And I want to know kind of your background.
Right.
I find it fascinating. You know, when you're running around the playground in short pants.
Oh, right. I still am.
And the first, I know. And the first things, first influences you ever had, as far as music was concerned. Right. And it could have been a matron playing a piano on a Sunday morning or something, or whatever. But, you know.
Okay. Well, the first influences, I suppose, I was brought up with 2 sisters, a mum and a dad, and a couple of cats and dogs and greyhounds and stuff.
Yeah.
My sisters tended to like ABBA.
Yeah.
And then my dad liked the country stuff, the Don Williams, the Glenn Campbell sort of music. And then I was introduced in 1976, I think it was, to an album by Genesis. I bet you know it, Bill. It's called A Trick of the Tail. Yep. Right? It's a fantastic album. I mean, Genesis, in my opinion, went downhill after that album because the band sort of, every album they brought out after that, they'd lost a member. But when they had Steve Hackett playing guitar on that album, it was tremendous. And of course, Phil Collins was a big influence for me, being a drummer, and he's a fantastic, or certainly was. I know he's had some problems, hasn't he? He's had to relearn to play the drums again. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know whether he fell or had an accident or something like that, but he had to relearn apparently to play the drums again.
I'm astonished. I didn't know this.
Well, the last concert, or the last run of concerts that he did, he had his son, Jolie, I think his son's called, who's probably now about 20, maybe a bit older, I don't know, but he was playing the drums for Phil Collins whilst Phil Collins was just doing the singing. So Phil Collins was a massive influence. Debbie Harry Blondie as well. I bet you remember that one, don't you?
No, I'm not having that.
I'm not missing it. Well, Blondie, as you know, a fantastic band, and you know, Parallel Lines, the album. Yeah. Well, I remember having the posters.
So, about 13. 12, 13
going into teenage, hitting puberty around that time. Debbie Harry come on the scene. I'm like, who's this lady? You know, the icon of
I mean, the 80s for me were the kind of the best era after the 60s.
Right, for music. Right.
For me.
Right.
I just loved the 80s.
So stuff like what then? Because a lot of it was electronic, wasn't it?
I was definitely into what they call West Coast American rock.
Oh, right.
You know.
For example?
Bruce Hornsby and
right. Yeah.
Eye of the Tiger. Who did Eye of the Tiger and stuff like
Survivor.
that? Survivor.
Hey.
I'm just going to have a guess now. Did you like Boston?
Yeah.
I love
Supply.
I remember listening to Boston for the first time on All Grey Whistle Test.
Yeah.
And I saw it, and there's only a few times in my life that it's affected me. And I thought, I have to buy that. And I ran out to Wigan the next day and bought. In fact, it was the second album. It wasn't the first one with a very famous Modern Feeling on it.
Yeah.
It was the other one, the second album. And I just loved it. And I played and played. It was on cassette then, in the car.
Cassette. 8-track or just cassette?
No, just normal left and right cassette.
These things do influence you. I mean,
absolutely, yeah.
First time round, obviously, I was influenced by the 50s and 60s. But latterly, after I'd done the wife, kids, and fitted carpets and copper canopies over fireplaces,
and then started again.
Yeah. The 80s really got to me, and I really love that. I mean, and bands like 10cc were always there, hovering around.
And still are hovering, aren't they?
I know.
Loitering with intent.
And they did really get to me,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
bands later
All
on.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
But I mean, it's not about me,
Yeah.
it's about you.
Well,
And-
around the 80s, Phil Collins went solo, didn't he? And he brought out Face Value, which for me was a cracking album. You know, In the Air Tonight was on the The Roof Is Leaking. I've not heard it for a while now, but then he brought another one out, Hello I Must Be Going, which had a blue cover to the album, which wasn't. I mean, there's still some 3 or 4 cracking songs on the production of an 8-track recording, because that's all they had in 82. I might be wrong on the years there, but it was an 8-track recording. They had Earth, Wind and Fire brass section, who could probably record it all in one take, like the real.
But musically, what were you doing? I mean, I've seen you play drums, and I've seen you play bass guitar, and I've seen you play guitar.
Yeah. You've not seen me play the rubbing board though yet, have you?
No.
That's my number one instrument.
I was just going to say that maybe some people who are listening don't realise, because Alan's just played guitar, that he is actually, I think, he's the best drummer I've ever played with, and it's about the feel for me. In fact, when we play, Alan just has a bass drum and a snare drum and a hi-hat. But you know what? It just sounds everything that we need.
There's
and
nothing
it's about
missing.
The feel.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
Because you're doing everything, you're putting everything down in the right way.
Well, I think what we do though when we do it live, Bill, is because there's only a guitar and a drum kit and two singers, we try and put as much space in the right places where we can. So we work it backwards in a sense. We try and put space in the song rather than trying to overfill it.
Yeah. I mean, your song, I remember doing at Lanky Cats, Don't Worry About a Thing.
Right.
And you had the audience in the palm of your hand, and you were singing virtually every word.
Yeah.
And you weren't needed singing.
No, absolutely not.
The audience is pick it all up off you.
Yeah.
And what an infectious song. But what I was noticing, being watching the technical side of things, I didn't need to watch them so much because I'm watching you.
Right.
Because drummers watch drummers.
Right. I know that you play drums. Yeah.
So, and I was watching what you did on that little kit.
Right.
And I thought, it's just got it absolutely spot on.
Right.
You don't need that all them tom-toms.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Can I interject with one other little thing as well? Because the very first time I saw Alan play drums, Alan was 7-year-old. And I think I was 13 or something like that. So I didn't actually get a chance to meet him on that occasion. But his dad and his sisters, I think, and Alan was playing at Ince Labour Club.
Oh, big time.
I lived in the same street, and I think by then was about 13, 14, and I'd started playing clubs. And Alan's dad was playing there with the family. What was the family's?
Mother's Pride.
Yeah. and I just remember him saying, "So I'm going to get my son up now." And he got on, I think, the resident kit. And he played, and I thought, that sounded amazing. And his dad went, "So not bad, is it for a 7-year-old?" And I thought, that was amazing. That was the first time I saw him.
What kind of year we're talking about here? What era?
77.
77.
Yeah.
I think it was earlier than that. I'd say I was about...
Well, if you knew me then at 7, it would have been 77.
Was it right?
And it's fascinating stuff. So you were actually getting behind a full kit.
Absolutely.
When you were 7-year-old.
Well, if you look at Phil Collins' drum kit now, I had that very similar drum kit, but of course Phil Collins was left-handed.
Yeah.
I was right-handed, but I had loads of drums and not many cymbals.
I know.
And I did, because I packed in playing drums and went on to guitar and keyboards and that. And I bought a drum kit about 3 years ago. And this kit's a tiny kit, and so I just use, that little bit now.
Right, great stuff. And so we're setting ourselves up for
another
little session, which I'm delighted to say.
We've prepared sort of a few songs. We're going to do this song, which is called Rolling Home.
I'm just looking now at a music stand in front of me that these two guys have brought in, and they've got there's about 9 songs on here, and what a pity is we're going to be finishing in about 25 minutes time. We're not going to get them all in, are we? So I want you to pick your best one ever.
Pressure there.
Your best one ever.
Well, for me, I love this song. I think Alan might presume there's another one. This is a song that we've wrote, but actually this is the first song that we wrote together.
Right.
We was in Alan's man cave, but there was some magic that happened when we played it, and it's sort of like developed a little bit since then, which was probably 12 months ago, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's got a great sort of...
And so this is what you wrote.
Yes.
And it's called...
What's it called?
Fresh, you know. Yeah, Ian's just said that we've chopped and changed it a little bit, but he's failed to tell you there. But failed to tell you that about 2 weeks ago, Ian said, "Oh, by the way, Al, you're singing this."
Yeah,
so here we go. So Ian's now doing the harmonies and the foot tapping on the floor.
Yeah, we was going to bring a bass drum, but we've not got it.
On the road, an aeroplane, search for something to feel the pain, but I keep rolling, rolling home, reaching out for a better place, travel light along the case, but I keep rolling, rolling home, but I keep rolling, rolling home. Celebrate, dream a plan, seize the day for a greener land, but I keep rolling, rolling home, but I keep rolling, rolling home. Touch the sky, feel the pace, search for truth, it's a tail I chase, but I keep rolling, rolling home. On the road, an aeroplane, still search for something to feel the pain, but I keep rolling, rolling home, but I keep rolling, rolling home.
Super duper duper duper. I like that.
I think you were singing there, weren't you?
Oh, was it?
It's actually called Rolling Home. I couldn't remember before because we didn't write it on the top.
I've got the words in front of me, so I couldn't help but join in. I hope you don't mind.
No, that's fine.
At all.
Yeah.
What we should have done is brought you. We was talking about bringing a tambourine or a cabassa in. You could have been playing it for us,
couldn't I?
Because we couldn't fit the bass drum.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing, Ian.
Yes.
It's lovely, lovely. So, where are we going now? What are we talking about now? I'd like to find out, when you started off and came together, how long ago was it since you came together?
Chewy.
A Stardust and Roper.
Stardust and Roper. Have you got some of my wine? What's going down?
Write that one down, Alan. We'll have that
Starjump and Roper.
when we start earning millions, we'll use that as an alternative name. Yeah, I like that. It was probably 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, probably something like this.
Is that all? Is
Yeah.
that what you're talking about?
But Ian came on board originally with the dementia and the Alzheimer's cafes and the residential homes, and then we said, well, let's do it. Let's do a gig or two, and obviously Lanky Cats.
Yeah.
We heard of the Lanky Cats movement.
Yes, thank you very
And
much.
what a great movement it is.
We think it definitely gets the thumbs up from us. We think it's great because people come there because they want to listen to music. It's a great atmosphere. They're not coming there because they want to play bingo or listen to a raffle or anything like that.
Well, we do have a raffle, yes, but
Well, that's not the priority, is it?
It takes 5-10 minutes, the raffle.
People
and they
come
get out
there,
of the way.
and so we find it great. It's an opportunity for us to try new things.
Oh, it is.
And you get such a great feedback from the audience. It's a pleasure to play. Because my feeling always is when someone's performing, it's a 50-50 deal. It's 50% you, but also it's 50% them.
It is.
And if one of those sides isn't playing their part, the whole thing falls flat.
It does.
So I think Lanky Cats really works well, and we love it when we play. Unfortunately, I think last time we should have been there, we couldn't come, but
Yeah, that's right.
we do love playing there, and congratulations to you, because I think it you originally sort of
Yep.
brought it
my
together.
concept.
So
Big up for Mr. Hart, please.
I do get lots of accolades about having this thought, but it was a very selfish thought to
Right.
begin with.
Well,
Because, as we've mentioned before, I was working with something catchy, and we were bobbing up and down the motorways and things like that on Saturday night, and I just got it got a bit tedious.
Yeah.
The travelling and
as it
everything,
does.
and then 50 quid in your pocket, which is all right, except they have to pay tax out of it and stuff like that. But it was for the love of music, and then I started not enjoying the live playing.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Jack Carney, who was in lead guitarist in the band, and I had always collaborated together, and we started to go into this recording studio, and he first put what he did. He bought me a 60th birthday present, and it was a day in the studio.
Was that last year, Bill?
Of course it was. Last year, 10 years ago. So he bought me this little present, and we went in and we said, right, we're going to get an idea, we'll take it in, and we come out at the end of the day with a finished product. One track.
Right. Original?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Written. And I had to write it.
Right.
And
No pressure
that was
then.
a daunting proposition.
Yeah.
I had tried to write before,
Yeah.
but I'm not very good at melody, getting melody right.
Right.
I can words. I can
Oh,
do
right.
words.
You could do
forever.
some for us then.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but melody is not my strongest point. So that's kind of so that started happening, and the band was going, and this was coming up, and I
Right.
thought, right, okay, I'll stick with it. And I stuck with it a couple of years, and
Just
I
doing
decided-
original stuff.
Well, the band I stuck with a couple of years,
Right.
and then it just kind
But
of.
it's hard to find the energy, isn't it, to put it when you're doing it for on a Saturday and Sunday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, up and down the motorway, to find the energy to go and do original recordings. You sort of lose the energy to do that.
It was more basic than that, even, Alan, because we're doing Monday night's rehearsal, Saturday night's out, or Friday night.
Yeah.
And that was 2 chunks of your life
Your week.
out
Yeah.
the week.
Absolutely.
And,
It's a lot.
and you have to put a lot into a band.
Yeah.
I think you have to put 100% into your band. Otherwise, it's not worth doing. You've got to put
think-
an amount of energy
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
And you can't just.
You can't play at it.
You can't play at it.
I think we're quite.
So that's how it started, Lanky Cats. I thought I need somewhere to play, have a knock
Yeah.
now and again.
Well, you don't have to drive up and down the motorway every week.
No, and
Yeah.
that's how it started.
Yeah.
So
Very good.
there were 1 or 2 people. It was on Wigan World on the
Yeah, yeah.
website.
Yeah.
Wigan World, and I'd been in touch with 1 or 2 people like Mitch, who'd never seen
I don't know much, but Ian does, I
for
think.
donkey's years.
I used to work at Norway with Mitch.
Yeah, I know.
30 years ago.
Fantastic. So I was, I got in touch with him. I just got loads of encouragement. I said, well, let's have a meeting at Standish Unity Club. And everybody went, where's the
Where's that?
Standish Unity
Yeah.
Club?
Yeah.
And 19 people turned up.
Right.
off the strength of that particular.
You know what, Bill? We've had a conversation about this, about unity, and on the other 2 Thursdays, it'd be interesting to use that same format, but have it for original acts. You know, because the younger ones. Because I know that Standish Unity, I know it's inclusive for everyone. It's not exclusive to particular people.
Yeah.
It does tend to attract the mature students, doesn't it?
It certainly
and
does.
It's an amazing opportunity for people that maybe younger people or somebody who wants to do original stuff to do the other 2 Thursdays.
Yeah.
Ian's up for taking that over, aren't you?
That's a new suggestion to me.
You'd be more than welcome. We've got that room on every Thursday if we want it.
Wow.
But we choose not to. And we're keeping Lanky Cats special by only doing 2 a month.
Yeah, I think that's good.
That's the first and the third Thursdays of every month.
Yeah.
And if we'd have gone out to every week, it would have been a huge job getting the bands to do that amount for us. And people tell me, like people like Diane, who's a sound engineer, she said, I prefer it every 2 weeks. I can do other things. And a lot of people don't want every week. So we've just simply, we listen to people, what they say, and we've kept it.
It keeps it more special, doesn't it?
And it keeps it live and special. And everybody's bubbling,
absolutely.
buzzing.
Yeah.
You felt it yourself.
Absolutely.
You walk in,
is.
and it's like, wow.
Yeah, it
Where
is.
where does all this energy come from?
The thing is, that I would imagine there's quite a few people who play there, very similar minded to us, because we sort of decided we only really want to play in evenings where we really want to play, and not really be doing stuff and playing places we don't want to go anymore. And that, I think, certainly for me, it helps to keep a joy in music.
Do you play the social clubs and get paid?
We try and avoid that
way.
No.
You know, in between bingo.
We've done that.
Yeah.
You've done that.
We don't.
With other bands, I take.
Well, Bill, when you started saying about driving up and down the motorway and not beginning to like it, that's what Ian and I, we've all done it. We've all been there, haven't we?
Yeah.
And that's what we don't want
so
to do.
Lanky Cats, in effect, is perfect for you guys as well.
It's perfect because
It's
it
your
allows
spot.
us a vehicle to try out new material that we wouldn't normally do somewhere.
That's right.
Anywhere
Now, Ian
else.
was also telling me on the phone on Thursday.
This Ian.
This Ian, yes. Mr. Starjump and Looney.
That's 3 names. I like it.
You've got a venue in Wigan. It's a bar, yes.
Yeah, it's much more than just a bar, Bill. It's a hub. It's a hub.
Tell us
culture.
all about this new enterprise that you're going into.
Well, it's not necessarily an enterprise at the minute. I presume we're referring to June the 16th at Wigan Central, which is a real ale bar.
Real ale bar.
It's just near the train station, and it's been
in Walgate.
It's been there about 3 years. It's got a great atmosphere. About a year ago, because I think it's owned by Prospect Brewery, which is in Standish. They also bought the Next Arch. And they've put a stage in there, so occasionally they have live music on, and I think they're doing some jazz every month. And I said to Joe, who was that's another Joe, by the way, not this Joe. I said, would you mind if we put a night on? We'd like to do it, and there's no charge on the door. It's going to be free to enter on the night, but we wanted an opportunity to do the sort of music that we really like. We are going to do some original stuff. We're going to do some covers that will be reworked in a different way. And also a very good mutual friend that we have, which I think he came with us once and played at Lanky Cats, which was Darren Glover.
On the bass, on bass.
He's one of the best bass players in the country.
I taught him everything he knows.
So you've got the best bass player in the country and the best drummer in the country.
I won't say that, yeah.
So I'm just tagging along.
I mean, you need
No. I think
you need a new guitar.
No, absolutely not. No. I think it's time for Ian to have a credit because Ian isn't the most technical. And neither am I in terms of drumming, but together there's something sort of alchemic that occurs, and I think that's because we're not technical. We're not Francis Dunnery. We're not Phil Collins, the old style, the Buddy Rich, the technologically mad musicians. We play for the song, don't we?
Yeah.
We play for the song, and if something doesn't work, we drop it and we fall out about that sometimes, saying, that doesn't work. Yeah, it does. No, it doesn't, because listen to this. And we record it, we'll listen it back. And so, we play for the song, and it's not all about being the grade 8 classically trained musician.
Not at
I think
all.
you've got- I
Never
think you've
was
just got
and
to-
never
No,
will
no,
be.
no.
And that myth wants dispelling straight
Absolutely.
away.
Well, it's starting here now.
Be yourselves musically,
Yeah.
develop yourselves musically, and bond like you two have done. Jack Carney and I are bonded like 30 years ago,
Right.
and we're like, well, it's just
I think
we're like John
brother and
Dave
brother.
now.
You look at the history of music and successful bands, and a lot of them they just started as friends. U2, I always think, is a classic example. They were just friends at school, and they learned their instruments and they learned their craft together.
Yeah.
But because there's that great bond between them, and they have the same sense of direction musically, they've created some great stuff and still enduring today.
So when are you going into this bar called the Central Bar?
It's Wigan Central. The actual
Wigan
extra
Central.
bar at the side is called the Platform, but it's just like a name that they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be on Friday nights, good night, because most people are not at work the next day.
Yeah.
You can come along, you don't have to pay anything to get in. It's going to be a great night, because we're hoping it's going to be. There's going to be lots of friends, family there, and other people who's never seen us before, and it's going to be a night of music, laughter, happiness. It's just going to be a good night. So we'd like you to see you come along. I know you said you live in Southport now, but
I live in I do live in Southport, but Wigan keeps dragging me back.
Absolutely.
it will be a great excuse to come.
Just to tell you something, when you've got your roots here,
Right.
I don't care where you live, you're always being dragged back.
Yeah,
You can
absolutely.
never really leave.
Yeah.
And that's what I've discovered. And I left Wigan when I was about 23 years old. And I went off to London to the bright lights.
All right.
So within 6 months I'd come back. You know, I wanted my mum.
Absolutely. Don't we all?
So anyway, that's another little short one. I'm getting. I can feel another song.
Are you getting a vibe?
Well, yeah, but that's because I keep putting that song up there, because if we've got any time, I
Alan
would,
loves this song.
Well, you
Well-
can see that the clock's counting
okay,
down.
let's
So let's
crack
do it.
on then.
We've just got time for one short, quick stab at it. And what we'll do, I'll just play this for you in a minute and see what happens.
Hi, I'm Dean Parrish. I'm on my way to Wrightington's Hospital Radio.
Across the water, Wrightington Community Hospitals.
I know you
The
love
best of yesterday and today, 24 hours a day. This is your station, Wrightington.
Okay, I think we're just about ready now.
I was just going to pour myself another glass of wine there.
We've got all these. I've been a knob twiddler tonight. Yes,
matron.
I'm getting good at this knob twiddling, and I'm enjoying it.
Oh, matron.
Anyway, we've got to see what the time is coming up to the pretty close to leaving you all, but we've got a time for a quick song here from Starjump and Mooney. Now, what have we got next, boys?
This is called Billionaire Boy.
Right, excellent.
There was somebody that we had in mind when we was putting this song together and writing it. We'll probably leave you to work out or interpret it yourself. But we really like this song. I think particularly Alan, is this your favourite?
Well, I do like it, but it'd be quite interesting if Bill or Joe could work out who the subject is of the song.
Right, I shall listen very carefully.
Intently, yes.
Yeah.
Here
Okay.
we go.
Take it away.
Unconscious man, unconscious plan, conquer the world, know who I am. He is many a fan of his plan as he stands. Spotlight projection, billionaire boy, hide your head in shame, billionaire tell me what for. It's coming round again. Watching you, my friend. He has many a way to convince you to stay in his summed up little big world. Billionaire boy, and your head in shame. Billionaire boy, in your head there is no doubt. You got it all worked out. Oh, I'm walking. Oh, I'm talking. Oh, I'm walking. Billionaire boy, hide your head in shame. Billionaire boy, in your head there is no doubt. You got it all worked out. Billionaire boy, billionaire boy, billionaire boy.
Billionaire boy. And we're supposed to guess.
If you don't, you're in trouble.
Billy Clinton?
Nearly. A couple after him.
Who was a couple after
There was
him?
you, the one in power now.
Mr. Obama? Or is it Mr. Donald Trump?
Mr. Donald Trump.
It's
There's
Donald.
actually a line in there that sort
So,
of uses
yeah,
that.
I knew it was about a politician and conquering the world and all that, yeah. And you gave that away. So I wasn't far behind,
I think
I just
when
got my head round Bill Clinton.
Oh, well, you did very well. You was on the right lines.
Anyway, without further ado, we've come to the end of the show.
Well, what an
Thank you
hour.
very much
It's
for
gone
being...
very quick. Time
Ah,
flies
yeah.
when you're having fun.
Thank you very much, Ian,
Well,
for
it's been a
joining
pleasure.
us.
Thanks for inviting
Mr.
us.
Starbum
Absolutely.
and Mr. Glooney. And we've loved it having you on the show, and we'll go and, well, there's nothing to say now. Thanks for listening to us. A very good night to you all, and we hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll just play you out with this.